you look at why now we're in such a radical secularization and why there seems to be a rejection of traditional biblical teachings. And I really think it's because we've given up as a human race.
Wow, it's been a while since I've seen a car theist. Whatever happened to believers making vids in their vehicles? And we haven't given up as a human race, quite the opposite. Getting secular is kicking our asses into high gear. Let's do this. Greetings, fellow space travelers, BionicDance here. Today's target is Kevin Prendeville, who has somehow decided that lacking God belief is giving up on life. And that's just silly. What it does is free us from some of the craziest ideas and requirements and threats.
We no longer believe in the inspired words of the Bible. And why I think that is because we don't want to explore anymore. We don't want to explore the depths, not only of the human intellect and mind and ability to reason, but we don't want to figure out our purpose. We don't want to figure out our why anymore.
Could this be more backward? No, it couldn't. When people give up the Bible, or never followed it in the first place, it frees us up to explore because we're not hemmed in by the book telling us we must believe, evidence or its lack be damned. As to our purpose, show me that we have one, and then I'll go looking for why. Like I said, backward. His assumption seems to be that this purpose is there, but I doubt he can show us it's there from a source outside of the book that's claiming there is one.
If you believe and read the Bible, it doesn't allow you to simply hear something and just go do something. You really have to think, and you have to be enough of an intellectual to understand that the inspired word is such a different plane of existence and of knowledge.
The Bible expects you to think. No. The Bible expects you to take what it says for granted on faith. And if something that contradicts the Bible can be shown to be real, many theists will continue to deny it in favor of their holy book's claims instead. This is not how people behave when thought is a major component in their intellect.
We should rather be thanking God every day for the ability to even understand, even realize that there is a higher plane of existence, that there is something greater than us, but we don't want to do that anymore.
So we should be thanking the God that we're supposed to believe in on faith for letting us know that he exists, despite that being exactly what he won't really do, or we won't need faith to believe, assuming he exists at all. Okay, yeah, makes perfect sense. Is there any chance at all that maybe this God is, imaginary? Or at the very least, can you understand how someone might suspect so given the descriptions we're given?
So really the secularization, the atheist movement is because we have given up. It's our fault. And as Christians, as our Jewish brothers...
Hold on a sec there, Kev. I need some clarification. When you say that we have given up, your words, does that still mean the human race, or do you mean theists specifically? Are you saying you're not trying hard enough to convert the rest of us, or are you blaming us for not believing?
I don't think our Muslim friends in the Middle East have this issue because they're not involved in this radical secularization.
That's because they have a tendency to chop someone's head off if they say they're an atheist. It might be a bit before you see any radical atheism over yonder.
But we've really been led astray. We've been led astray by the progressives. We've been led astray by thinking that secularization somehow means we're smarter and more advanced. But I would argue the medieval man knew more about himself and his purpose than we will ever.
A rather intelligent person could still believe in a God, but it would be an emotional conclusion, not an intellectual one. Again, the claim of a God's nature and the nature we can study tend to come out rather radically different in many vital areas. An intelligent person would have to shut down their rational capacities in order to believe in the supernatural, much less a God, much less your God. And a lot of scientific advances have come not merely despite religious claims, but in the face of active opposition from theists who see those discoveries as a threat to their worldview. But the more secular, scientifically minded people aren't giving up their pursuits. They've just left behind the targets you want them aimed toward.
Those words, the words of Christ, the teachings of the Bible, were here long before any of us were born, and they'll be here long after we're all dead.
Pointing out that the Bible is old doesn't help your case, nor does claiming its fans will be around forever. Yes, we are more advanced. The better ideas, indeed the proof for something, tends to come later, not first, and the Bible's claims were made long before humanity had the capacity to critically and empirically study them. Clinging to those claims, despite the rather glaring faults we found, is thoroughly illogical, irrational.
And if we don't start paying attention, if we just start reading and understanding why we're here and giving ourselves that everlasting hope, we'll forever, I believe, live in hopelessness. And that's just not a life I want to live.
Kev here is making a mistake that is unfortunately common with theists. Because he can't find hope without a religious crutch, nobody else can. And so because his life would be pointless, or so he claims, then the rest of us must feel similarly. Our religion-free lives must be horrifically depressing, right? Well, no, not actually. I could live my entire life and die happy without a God in it. I only talk about religion and God belief in self-defense against theists who would use their religion as an excuse to make other people's lives worse. I'd rather not think about religion at all and find peace and calm in my world. But no part of me feels a gap where a God might go. Despite Kevin's apparent assumption, not everybody has one of those. Until next time, fellow space travelers, this is BionicDance saying don't run on automatic. Instead, please, think.
Attention citizens. Failure to contribute will result in suspended oxygen privileges. Attention citizens. Failure to contribute will result in suspended oxygen privileges. Attention citizens.
So, who wants cake? You have to rate first.